You've got to fortify your positions. You've got your home, you've got your castle. This is where you're probably going to make a stand, or maybe you're going to be in your vehicle. I mean, we've seen that where people have quite literally been ripped out of their vehicles and beaten nearly to death. So if your position isn't fortified, well, you're just exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. So when it comes to your home, do you have security systems in place? Do you have a dog? Does everybody know how to behave and how to act? Are all the doors locked, and are all the points of entry secured? Are there plans in place, not just for violent encounters, but natural disasters or a fire or a power outage like I talked about earlier? This is your space. It reminds me in a funny way of, Home Alone. I think if I remember right, Kevin McAllister says, "This is my home. I have to defend it." Well, this is your castle. This is your space. You own this. This is yours. So protect it, fortify it, make it a bunker that is impenetrable, and make sure that your family and the people that you love are safe within the walls of your home. Again, lighting, security systems, little tactics that you can do to give yourself a little bit more time if you had some intruder come into place. Dogs are another layer to this. I talked about layers in a podcast several months ago. Just because you have a dog doesn't mean you're protected. Just because you have a firearm in your house doesn't mean that you'll be able to ward off a intruder. Just because you have a security system doesn't mean that somebody won't be able to breach that security system. Okay, so you need to have depth and layers to fortifying your position. Think about it in your vehicle as well. Do you have a firearm in your vehicle? Are you able to defend yourself? Can you stay out of trouble? One thing I think about a lot is when I see cars pull up right behind other vehicles. Like, why would anybody ever do that? I think they do it because they don't think about it, but you need to give yourself space. Because if you're right bumper to bumper with a car in front of you and you need to get out of that situation, you're not going to be able to. But if you give yourself some distance and space, if something happens, you've got plenty of time and space to maneuver where you need to maneuver. So start thinking about these scenarios. What would happen if? And then play that scenario out, and then build in the provision and the contingency to be able to keep you and your loved ones safe in those encounters.